Yeah, I see.
Just a minute. Huh? Audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Minute. Just 1 minute. I'm checking with Ramesh. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I pinged him. Maybe he will join. Okay. Let us discuss about whatever we were discussing about the DBA related prompts you are mentioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned about that particular
Yeah, I saw that
the
from
post.
your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your understanding of that after looking at that? I ask you.
I mean, that is using that CoCo, you can do those things, right? So,
Correct. True. True. Agree. But you understood, right? What is that generally? So, the prompts which you are going to request, every prompt is not same.
hmm.
So one prompt will be one requirement. Yeah. As a DBA, I will
Okay.
not work only on single query optimization. Correct? No?
Yes.
I will work on some task related to disabling some set of roles or enabling some set of roles or adding a new set of users. So I can even do some activities related to RBAC.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I go and even work on creating some of the column level masking, row level masking also.
Yes.
And some scenarios I go and try to looking for a recommendations from CoCo that what are the best practices or a best possible configurations I need to perform to reduce the cost for my warehouses. Correct, no?
Yeah.
So this it has to recommend me, right? It has to recommend me what are the best possible settings I need to like apply to buy like warehouses so that my cost will go little bit balanced. And query level also, there are certain queries will be there. Which queries are like need to be addressed that are causing the more cost. See, these are all like we just need to go and credits wise also we have to see. The credits wise, which warehouses are consuming more credits and which areas I need to go and focus on to reduce the cost. So that is also one area. And I forgot about to mention like the storage side, how
Mm.
the storage cost need to be optimized. which particular tables are can be replaced with temporary and transient tables, which does not need any storage cost related to failsafe. For example, the failsafe period is only available for permanent tables. You know, right?
Yes.
But for the tables which it does not need a backup of
Well,
failsafe, I
mhm.
can create as transient and temporary tables, right?
Yes.
So I need to even address that, because if you don't do that, what will happen?
Unnecessary.
Unnecessarily cost will be there, right? Storage additional cost for fail-safe storage also.
Mhm.
And temporary for even that the time travel retention period also not same for permanent and other types of tables. Only for tables whichever the tables are critical tables, I need a time travel period of maybe 30 days or 40 or 90, whatever it is. For some of the tables, I don't want more than 1 day. I can create all of them are either transient tables or temporary tables, right?
Yes.
So that I can reduce the storage cost also. And which best practices I also need to, or which features I need to go and use to optimize my query queries I'm running, because some tables may not have cluster keys also.
Right.
So the tool has to identify which tables need to be added cluster keys, right? Sometimes.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I can identify. See, if you go and see for data for clustering, selecting the column for the cluster key, we need to go and follow some criteria like high
Yeah.
cardinality columns.
Mm.
But that one, as per our understanding, with our knowledge, we do. But what if the tool has to suggest us? If I go and ask that CoCo to go and find out which tables are having
High
challenges in
cardinal. Mm.
high
To the
cardinality,
power.
which columns I need to go and choose in each table, and we can ask CoCo to go and create the cluster keys also. Correct? No,
Mm.
see, it can do anything, right? At the end of the day, what I can
Yes.
do, I need to ask the right prompt to go and ask for the CoCo to find out which tables are having cluster keys, and even the cluster keys what already existing cluster keys are right choice or not. Correct? No, I may
Mm.
have created some cluster keys. Maybe I want to evaluate by CoCo that are the columns are right columns in the table which I selected. Is a single cluster key sufficient, or do I need to go for a composite cluster key? If I'm going for a composite cluster key, how many columns are feasible? Correct? No.
Whether that is required or not also.
Sometimes correct. See, even the Snowflake also will recommend to not go more than minimum
Four.
maximum 4 columns.
Spawn, yeah.
So for cluster keys also, we go more than 4 columns, that is not even good.
Yes.
Sometimes what we do, we go and create cluster keys, even my table size is very small. I do not
Mm.
need,
Some. Yeah. Yeah.
because only cluster keys should be helpful only if your data volume is too high.
1 TB.
Mm. Yeah, 1 TB minimum, correct. The table size is not that much bigger. Why I should go and create and unnecessarily that also storage cost, right? Cluster keys.
Yes.
The Snowflake will charge for even for maintaining cluster keys also. If you do a reclustering, they will charge you.
Correct.
So all these are additional hidden burden. Correct, no?
Yes.
And there might be some scenarios where you go and use the physical tables as creating duplicate copies, which is not required at all. Better go with the cloning, right?
Mm.
See, which are the databases that are that may be replaced with cloning? That also you can ask. If you know which are the databases, you can simply go and ask CoCo to go and find out all those databases, create a cloned copies, and remove the physical copies.
Mm.
But before removing, first you create the cloning. Correct, no?
Right.
Because last week I think I saw one post in LinkedIn that Claude removed all the tables of
Data.
you saw, right?
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
But that is not the problem with Claude, right? Uh, Because the problem is what we are asking is the problem. The prompt of how we are going to ask, it follow the same.
And I think blindly they should not be used in production.
True. Correct. That's what I'm saying. See, when I'm asking for cloning, first you have to ask in an order like first to clone and then remove. Correct, no?
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
not going to ask remove and clone, right?
Yeah.
So whatever the query you are asking also should be the right order. Even if I tell you an order, you will follow the same, right? As a developer.
Yes.
Generally. Even the tool also will follow the same because that also like it should not be like every time it will go and think like human being. It follows some instructions which you are going to request and it will go and find out which is the right solution. It will find out and it will tell us. So there are some areas which the DBA side we need to go and focus on. If you are a Cortex developer and even you want to go and support, so which areas to like focus on? Let us discuss about that.
Hmm.
So there are so many areas, right? So many areas in any database, especially in Snowflake. Most of these top five areas, whatever you see, which we need to address. So the first one is performance. Just now we discussed about, correct? No, the
Yeah.
performance perspective. We go to any particular Snowflake project. There are so many areas, but we need to. As a, you may not be a DBA first of all, correct? No, you
Hmm.
are not a DBA. You are just like a developer, and you are upgrading yourself into this Cortex code or whatever it is, along with some kind of like ML, Gen AI, all this stuff. But as a DBA, what to do? What every DBA will do? How we need to go and support them? How we can go and educate them to go for a better prompts? Correct? No?
Right.
That is what you have to help. So every DBA nowadays, even some people are asking me
Hmm.
how it can help me in the DBA activities. Developers also asking me how it can help me in the development acts. It will help in every area in Snowflake. I can build an end-to-end data warehouse simply asking some prompts. It can do. But I need to give the right requirement, right? A requirement which you are going to ask is the very important and should be clear. So performance side, it can help in generally what every DBA will focus on, like they do like some performance tuning in the query side, especially it can be like a complex query or a simple query. We need to see we are following the best practices, but each best practice generally the DBAs will follow because by default they know what practices to follow, what is the order, how to go and which columns to use in very class. These are
Hmm.
all everybody knows. But apart from that, what are the other areas we need to focus on? That is very much important. Do I need to use any lookup queries are there? Do you know what is the feature to use for all the lookup queries? Any idea?
That is search optimization.
Correct. You know, right? Very good. Excellent. But not everybody knows, right? Same like you. Correct, no?
Yeah.
You know that. So you might have did some research. See, tuck, you told me immediately.
Hmm.
Not every developer will know, right? To be honest.
Right.
So you know that. So you can go and use this feature and need to improve that. Optimize the query. It may cost, that's fine. But you have to see, right, once at least. If it is
Hmm.
really improving any complex queries and the client is able to see the data faster, and he's getting whatever he's looking for on time, definitely you can go and use it. But how to use it? How to use it? If you don't know, you can ask. Cortex can do that.
Hmm.
You can go and, you can ask Cortex to go and apply its feature on a particular table. But what is the limitation? It should be minimum. Which addition we need for such service? Do you know that?
What is the limitation?
Limitation means there is a limitation in the sense only minimum. I cannot use standard edition, right? Is
Yeah,
such hardware service is not available in standard edition. You know that?
enterprise we are using that one.
Minimum enterprise, correct. That also we should know. Some people will create a standard edition and they will expect so many things.
Right, right.
So we should clearly tell that this should be minimum. Minimum we need enterprise, because all the features will not be available in standard, or some features are not available in even enterprise edition also. So we need to see. So according to the edition also, these features will change. And cost control, warehouse sizing. This is very very important. There might be so many queries that may be that might be spilling, data spilling.
Yeah.
We need to identify them, because the developers will not bother what queries they are running, how much time every query is taking. Some developers will be cautious, but not everyone, right?
Hmm.
Who are like keen to learn and they want to go and optimize the environment, who is having a like interest to learn and all, they will focus on cost also. I saw many people. They focus on cost, they focus on like everything. So that is important. And Snowflake is coming up with so many features. Like now, if you, in the Snowflake interface itself, you can see some different tabs for even cost also. Budgets is there, newly added. Many people
Yeah.
not even using that, to be honest. I saw that. So we need
Right.
to see how to go and manage the cost using these features. How to create, maybe the admin created so many warehouses, but there are no any proper resource monitors. You can ask Cortex to go and create. You can clearly inform that this is what the resource monitors I want at
Hmm.
each warehouse level, this duration, and this is the create quota. If you mention, instead of you go and create it, it will create. Governance perspective, majorly you need to focus on masking, right? Data masking, and any shares are there. There might be
Hmm.
sometimes, so you might have created a share and as a provider, you already added some consumers, and it's not like every time you will keep on monitoring that the consumers are using that or not, right? The consumer is a Snowflake account holders, you need not worry. If the consumer is a reader account, you need to worry, right?
Hmm.
Because they will be using our environment, our warehouses, our computers, all this stuff.
Yes.
So you should have a separate monitoring tool for shares also. Share monitor. We created a feature called ShareMon, called sharing to monitor all the shares.
Okay.
Because most of our external users,
Read only uses.
read-only users only, but even non-Snowflake accounts and accounts both.
Okay.
Who are using our shares, we want to keep an eye. We want to keep an eye, and we want to go and track it as per the governance. So we created a separate interface. In that interface, I added this particular, all the account level shares will be displayed, and you can manage all these shares, or, or deleting or disabling the access, or adding accounts, removing accounts, adding like granting privileges to the shares.
Mm-hmm.
We can do many things, right?
Mm.
So
Okay.
managing all the shares also at the governance perspective is very important because you share data with not only one particular account. There might be end users, there might be like people who are working on your data. Maybe we need to provide for some analysis. Some marketing team will be there. Market share also, market, there is a separate feature, right? In Snowflake to share the
Data.
correct. So they also will see Snowflake itself will share the data, sample data with share only. Correct, no?
Mm.
Snowflake sample data is not a physical database, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That also is share only, which Snowflake is giving access.
Correct.
So if you go and see, there are so much of amount of like a free sample data also in Snowflake environment. If you go to
Market share. Okay.
market share, so all are shares only, right? If at all you want to share any open source data and you want to manage it where you want your clients to use, again you have to create a share, right?
Mm.
So all these should have some cost involved. So we need to control the cost also. And material use. So the material use which you create also
Mm-hmm.
will consume some storage.
Yes.
And we should be, because nowadays everybody is focusing mainly on, which use people are mainly using now, business side, semantic use. So many projects, even we also started using semantic use for the business support. See, these are the very new type of use which Snowflake added. We have
What is that?
semantic use.
I don't know that one.
Okay. So we have like uh, normal use, standard use we call it as. Second one,
Security. Security.
secure use,
Materialist.
method use, and semantic use. All these like are new. Semantic use are very new. These are just like normal use only, but the column names we will clearly mention here as business column names.
Mm-hmm.
So business related column names, business names, right? Meaningful names. I mean, say profit percent is a meaningful name, right? Correct or not?
Mm-hmm.
So generally, semantic use are the new type of use which Snowflake introduced it for creating with some business friendly column names. So there are different features coming up. Even we newly got adaptive warehouses also. Interactive warehouses were there.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got adaptive warehouses. So now five types of warehouses are there.
Correct. Yeah.
All these five types you need to see because adaptive warehouses are also low latency, right? Low latency related. So we need to focus on them also because they might be not similar to normal warehouses. So that is all important. Data loading sites, no pipe will cost again.
Yeah.
We need to see how to optimize the snow pipe like usage and cost. Storage formats, how we can go and if it is all CSV or JSON, how to convert them into Parquet and ORC or Avro because they will reduce the cost, right? Okay, cost wise also have to think, right? Correct or not?
Yes.
The same CSV data of maybe 1 terabyte, it can be reduced to maybe 150 GB or 120 GB in normally go to like ORC or Avro. So we should even focus on that also, target that also. Create all clones, don't create physical copies. Even when you are restoring your data, always go with a cloning
Mm.
only. So always zero copy cloning is one of the feature in the storage perspective which we need to focus. And one thing which we need to also keep in mind, just simply creating clones is not cloning objects is not important. How to manage them is important, right?
Mm.
How to monitor them. So we need to even look into that at the data loading perspective. Security wise, as I mentioned earlier, also we need to keep an inventory of what all objects you granted to a particular user
Mm-hmm.
with the different roles. We need to keep an inventory of that also, because sometimes you add grant some critical roles to others, correct? No.
Yes.
So even you should have a transparent hierarchy in your project, because auditing team will keep an eye. So security is very important here. How to control using RBAC, how to manage the entire RBAC, and finally monitoring the entire environment. How to monitor, how
Mm.
to keep a right notifications when a particular issue will happen. If the particular warehouse is reaching the credit limit, how to get a notification? You can ask. You can ask Cortex to go and create a notification
Mm-hmm.
whenever a particular threshold will reach, and create a task for that. It will create. You can simply ask in a English sentence, right? At every day at
Mm-hmm.
9 p.m. US time, find out all the warehouses that are reaching the threshold, and send me an email notification along with the information. We can clearly mention the warehouse name, sorry, the resource monitor and which warehouses, their information.
How how to schedule that one? Like if we ask
Task we can use, right?
task, we can use, but where to place this prompt and all in the Coco?
In CoCo only you can directly ask slash and then give whatever you want generally in the command line. But if you want to do in the same CoCo environment, you have the prompt in where we can go and ask, right?
Yeah, but how it will schedule that one every day 9 o'clock? It
It
has
will
to set.
automatically create a task and it will alter task name, right? It will take care of that.
Okay.
See, you manually have to do create a task with commands. It will create that command. It will ask your permission to execute. You once you give permission, it will execute.
Okay.
And the task will schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alter task name resume will resume, na.
Yes. Yes.
That you need not to do, right? Generally, we have to trigger it manually. But that will be once it is triggered, it will be continuously running, no?
Yes.
Whenever you want to stop it, we can simply go and ask the CoCo to go and suspend it to do. But however, once it is started execution, it will keep on going continuously, right?
Yeah.
Continuously will go and execute.
Yes.
That is very pretty much important. We need to understand. So the main objective of
Mm-hmm.
Cortex is to identify most of the challenges in each area. As I mentioned, see the misuse, like how to find out the cluster column misuse, which I was talking about, identifying the disk spillage, correct, no?
Mm.
And also there are some query execution plans will be there. How to go, it will clearly mention, right? If you go to query profile, it will clearly mention how much amount of data has been spilled to remote disk also. And some areas it will show like it might have done full table scan also. Number of partitions you have to see total number of partitions available, total number of partitions scanned. It is both are equal, which means that it is performing a full table scan, right?
Mm.
So that query plan, what it is going to generate, you need to get benefit of it, and you need to go and optimize that particular query according to the query plan. So you can simply go and ask the prompt like whatever the query
Mm.
you want to see, what are the three best performance optimization I can apply to this query. So you can simply paste what query you are executing and is running long. Whatever the query it is running long, you can just find out that query. Maybe the developer came and mentioned that I'm running a query. complex query which is taking time. So you can take that
Hmm.
query and ask CoCo to find out. It will go and give us, right?
Yes.
So that is one way. Maybe what join order, maybe sometimes the join order also will impact.
Yeah.
And when to start the warehouse, when to stop the warehouse, what is the current warehouse sizing is really matching,
Yes.
correct?
Hmm.
No? It has to
Hmm.
calculate and it has to, if it is X small is not sufficient, it has to increase the size, right? Or it has to increase the number of clusters. Is any challenge with multitasking, multi-parallel execution also. So all this will fall under performance tuning, the first one. So we do not need to do all this because the syntax analysis anyway, the tool will take care of. And only thing which we need to focus on, whatever it is just providing us, we need to recommendations, you have to see whether they are feasible or not. Correct, no?
Hmm.
And you have that knowledge to assess it and you need to accept it. You cannot go and say everything for every solution, yes, right? Whatever CoCo is also providing, for all the solutions, you can't go and blindly use it.
We need to test it then.
Ah, correct. It will definitely prompt you. And going for execution, also you have to verify the results.
Hmm.
So why the particular query is spilling to local disk and how to prevent it? Find out the query ID. We can
Hmm.
get from the query history. Find out which particular functions are impacting the sorting and which joins are impacting or exceeding the warehouse memory and all. So what is the warehouse and which warehouse is like consuming this particular credits for this query and if really required, how to increase the memory. Or scaling policy also you can change, right? Correct or not?
Yes.
Sometimes the scaling policy also will be maybe economy I might have selected. That is it might be in a queue. If it is really going to help you, just change the scaling policy first, as the first priority. Later we will see. It's not like every time you simply need to go and increase the size, right?
Hmm.
You need to see the different options also, no? Try. So we need to have some basic knowledge, right? When you are dealing with this kind of like scenarios and all, we should have that particular what is first of all spilling
Hmm.
and those are all we definitely need a knowledge. I cannot go and directly go and help any DBA because if I need to support them, I should understand what their problem first. What is this particular spill means? Whenever the query will exceed, results will exceed the RAM, then only the data will spill to local and then to remote disk. This we should understand, right? First of all.
Hmm.
So then what is the solution? So when it reaches a threshold and it is of RAM and it is more like the results are coming from like local disk or remote disk after data is filled, then what is the solution? So immediately I need to see whether I need to reduce the number of rows. That is
Hmm.
one option. Add limit class, or add some filters, or see whether a join operation is causing that, or order by may sometimes will cause that sorting, and distinct also sometimes, correct, no?
Yeah.
All these are costliest operations, right? Sort and then distinct and then order by. So we need to see are we using the right columns in the order by or in the join. So pre-filter before running the query.
Correct.
And at the end of day, if all these are not feasible, then go with the warehouse resizing. Correct? No.
Yes.
I cannot directly go and increase the size or decrease the size. That is not the right direct solution. First, you have to try all these, and after all these you are not satisfied, then go with the final option. and also recommending a cluster key for a table based on the filter patterns. In a where class, I may have one column or two column or three columns. I need to see whether all these columns are
Part of clustering.
part of clustering, or are they really required also. I have to see. It doesn't mean that every column is required in a cluster key also. That column type we have to see. Is a categorical or a numerical, or it is a high cardinality or low cardinality. Most frequently used where and join columns we should see, and those columns only we have to use in the cluster key combination. So cardinality rule, that's what I was talking about. So it can evaluate the cardinality of the columns. High unique columns I should not use, right? Correct or not? Always look for a
Low cardinality.
low number, like least number of unique values, like gender column, date column. Even in the date column also, I
No
should not go
timestamp.
and use the timestamp should not be there. Correct, no?
Yeah.
Go by day or month or year. Why? Because even sometimes automatic clustering, if you enable also, that also will include some cost, compute cost. So it really required, you will do. So that recommendation also Cortex, if it will suggest, do it perform any reclustering, automatic clustering. So that will suggest and recommend us. And rewrite a particular query to avoid the all micro partitions that are getting scanned. So sometimes the filters will avoid, right? So you need to go and need to find out the columns and apply some date trunk and to char to convert the dates.
Uh-huh.
So that also will help you. If you don't follow that, it will be verified an entire column, and it may take some time.
Right.
So number of partitions which are going to be scanned is reduced, your time will reduce, and your query will run faster. And generate the explain plan and explain it in plain English, not like in the Snowflake terminology. Correct, no?
Uh,
If at all I want to understand, not 100% I can understand even at like the DBA level. Yes, DBAs are different, we are different.
yeah.
We should know at least some normal language which you can understand,
Uh,
so that whatever the explain plan may be generating in the form of a tree-like structure or a JSON format, we don't want in that format. We need a sentence like this. Data spillage occurred at step 4 due to a 2 terabyte SATA operation. If you get this kind of response, it will be easy to understand. Instead of I go and look into the that query plan and understand the things, if Cortex can help me by converting that particular insight into a meaningful response, that will be easy, right?
yes.
So these are all part of performance tuning. So apart from this, the warehouse and cost management which I mentioned about, how to select the number of warehouses, how many warehouses required, and what is the suitable warehouse for a particular team. So identify the top 10 queries by credit consumption in the last 30 days. So in the Snowflake schema, account usage, query history can help us find out that. So we should run the respective query, but I can simply ask this sentence, this prompt, so that Cortex can go and generate a query for this particular requirement, and it will execute and it will give the results as a table.
Yeah.
That is very important. So because the Snowflake account usage schema is the schema which will have all the metadata views. So the information schema will have the 7 days of data, but the account users will contain
Is estimate.
365 days historical analysis. So a query that will go and consume 10 credits processing 5 terabytes of data is efficient. Correct now?
Hmm.
A query that is costing 10 credits and 5 MB is like anomaly, right?
Yeah.
You can ask, find out all the anomaly queries that are costing like this. It will find out and give us.
How that query single query credits will come to know? I mean, a query takes
Query
this.
history, you can go with this like account usage schema, and we need to run that particular queries. I have some queries, I'll share you some queries.
To see the each query cost.
Yes, correct.
Oh,
By query ID, you can go and verify. I have some sample queries which generally I execute at DBA level.
okay,
I will share you.
okay.
Some 20 to 30 queries are there that will
Mm-hmm.
generally DBA is generally used right everywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah,
queries
please.
which I customized and some queries which I used common from some other sources and all. So I'll share you, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And like right sizing, right? Right sizing also important. What warehouses are like underutilized that can be downsized also you have to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
There may be 10 warehouses. Not all 10 warehouses will be 100% utilized. Correct, no?
Mm-hmm.
There might be some hidden wastage cost also. I need to identify that also, right? If I identify that and I can showcase to the management that we reduce that cost, they will be happy, no?
Yeah.
So that also important. See, this also now that activity a DB has to do.
Correct.
Simply only for doing the regular activity is not going to help us. Need to find out some areas where you can optimize also, reduce the cost. As I mentioned, create a resource model that will suspend the warehouse at 200 crates with 80% alert. Correct,
Mm-hmm.
no?
Mm-hmm.
You need to ask this prompt so that CoCo can create a resource monitor with all this requirement.
Yeah.
It will suspend automatically. I saw that many times. I experienced and it helped a lot to reduce the cost.
Mm.
So better create a prompt like this. And because a resource monitor can suspend and there is a suspend immediate also. Two types are there. Suspend will wait for all running queries to complete.
Mm.
Then it will suspend. But suspend immediate will not worry. It won't even bother. Even critical queries are running, it will kill them all and it will suspend.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be cautious on that also, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if any critical query is running, the business is waiting, I cannot go and blindly go and suspend immediate, no? So we should be very cautious and 50%, 75%, 90% you need to see when to use
Yes.
that particular.
Mm.
We can mention that while creating resource monitor. 15%, 50% it will notify. 75% it will
Mm.
suspend by completing all running queries and then it will suspend, it will notify. But third option is very like don't even bother which queries are running. It will immediately suspend, all queries will be killed and it will send a notification on 90% reached out.
Mm.
So these are all we can ask
CoCo.
CoCo to configure. And concurrent execution also not have impact, right? Multiple users may be experiencing. So the multiple users will be experiencing the
Oh,
challenges of their queries are going for a going
you.
in a queue.
Warehouse overload.
Warehouse overload. So increase the number of clusters, scale out.
Uh,
So we can find out that from the warehouse load history is there, minimum cluster count, maximum cluster count, we need to balance it, right?
yeah.
Warehouse metering history is there, load history, metering history, these are all the metadata views. More granular way you can go and verify. estimate the cost difference between small and medium for a current workload. So that it may be like if a medium warehouse may cost 4 credits per hour, right? For example,
Hmm.
the same thing may not be with the small, right? But sometimes medium will help you to run faster also.
Yeah.
If you are keeping XML for a long time, change medium and finish faster and again come back to XML in peak hours. That'll happen. That'll happen. We need to identify when we need to increase size, decrease size also. So we need to have the transparency that how the data is being transformed and on the raw data and how to generate some reports. Second thing, right sizing of the warehouses, when to
Hmm.
scale up and when to scale out. Third one, how to protect the data and protect the warehouses or control the cost. All these are important. So data loading also, right? See, data loading is not maybe people some assume that a DBA is not going to involve in it, but they will involve. So sometimes the DBA has all developers may not have control because in some projects DBA only need to run some kind of activities.
Yeah.
So write Snowpipe DDL for loading a JSON from AWS
Hmm.
bucket or blob storage. If I don't know how to write it and all, you can ask.
Hmm.
The storage integration, some people say, I don't know how to get storage integration. I have heard from many people. I know about Azure S3, but I don't know about how to get in Azure. So why we should go and worry? If you simply ask CoCo, CoCo and create, right?
Yes.
It knows what to do, but you need to ask the right prompt. That's it. So we need to use the right prompt. It will automatically create. The convert the CSV into a optimized parquet load also you can do. A CSV to column parquet requires a syntax adjustment only here. So compression should be auto and error on column code mismatch should be false to support a semi-structured form.
What is this
Also,
one?
no,
What is
this is
this?
just like loading a CSV data into a barcode format. See, CSV generally while loading the CSV data,
Hmm.
we will not going to consume the same storage with barcode, right?
Okay. The target will be little less.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, while convert the data which are while loading, and I want to load directly in barcode format in the table.
Oh.
We can do that. Yeah. So that also we can do. So format casting also we can do.
So in Snowflake, that will be stored as Parquet.
Exactly. Correct. Correct. Correct.
We need to change only these two compression
Parameter.
load
Parameter.
error and
Correct. Maybe you have to check it once. And identify tables with greater than 50% data skew for reclustering. This also I was mentioning earlier. The table storage matrix is the metadata view. It will go and verify in that and find out which partitions, which particular like partitions we need to go and group them and where on how can we go and perform a reclustering on so that
Hmm.
will improve the or reduce the number of partitions that are going to scan. Partition pruning, we call it as. Unnecessary partitions will be removed. So that will generate that will go and find out which are the partitions should be part of the cluster and it will identify. And we can even go with some basic DDLs also. So I want to create a generate a alter table statement to convert a varchar to timestamp also it will help. The basic syntax also sometimes we will forget, right?
Yeah.
I do not need to go for documentation again. Simply ask CoCo to do, it will do. No, everything is we need to go and ask. Then it will go and perform. And security and access control also. This is also very important. The RBAC, grant usage and warehouse. I do not need to write this command at all. Simply go and ask. Please try to provide access to this warehouse,
Mm.
if this particular privilege on this particular schema to this particular user or particular role. So all we can do. So listing all users with account admin who have not logged in 60 days. That is also important, right?
Yes.
I have given account admin access, but they are not even using that. So unnecessarily I'm giving them. So I want to find out them and I want to revoke their access because that is a critical privilege. No, not everybody should get generally.
Mm.
I mean, we never give, but it's not a right practice. So you should, if you observe that maybe 4 to 5 people are having account admin role, try to revoke the access.
Yes.
Show all the roles that have the access to the database prod finance. I want to see the finance data is very sensitive data, right? Generally, maybe the finance database contains some critical employee salaries information. So I don't want everyone to have access to that. Maybe accidentally someone got that because of some role. So I want to see which roles are accessing this and how to revoke this database access from these roles.
Mm.
So it will find out. It will try to Cortex can find out the hierarchy or chain of like roles which have been granted to this particular database. So who are having access to the sensitive data we can identify and we can revoke their access. And maintenance and monitoring. So maintenance, like as I mentioned also, so how to create a task to schedule to purge old data from a table which are older than 90 days. So purge means deleting.
Right.
So we can schedule a task with the cron job, right? Cron job, and I can go and create a task to
Mm.
schedule it, and I can resume the task. I can
Yeah.
ask CoCo to even resume it. It will do that. So every table with 90 days old data will be automatically the data will be deleted.
Okay.
So this is also like find tables that are not required in the last 90 days for archival. So
Yes.
table storage matrix is the metadata.
Mm.
See, all these we need to find out the respective metadata views and then we need to go and run the queries and we need to find out. But here we are not writing the queries. The CoCo is helping us. Coming to the final, this Cortex like code AI. So this is basically is not free also. That also people have to think. Everybody want to use it. And last time I was talking to one particular DBA, she was saying that they are getting notification for even for the 10 credits consumption also.
Mm.
So they scheduled a resource monitor like that. If 10 credits consumed, they'll get a notification, it seems. Everyone.
Mm.
Because it's costly, no?
Yes.
So they have to control. See, everybody when they are using a service, so they cannot go and use for every even for the small requirement also you should not use Cortex, right? Just like as I mentioned. For the alter
Yes.
table also if you use Cortex, what is the meaning?
Correct.
At least you should write some code at some level also, right? Even the complex requirement you can use. Even for the basic creating the tables also, if you use Cortex and all,
Yeah, no use.
no use, no. You are wasting your credits
Mm.
because credits almost equal to money, right? So that is the people has to understand. For all these, whatever I mentioned till now,
Mm.
I have the prompts and the respective like
Right.
queries. I will share you that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So I just look into that and I share one more document which contains a decent amount. I can say up to I think it is 70 to 80 scenarios which a DBA usually work regularly.
In the Google Drive? Where?
I will upload that. I will upload that.
Okay.
You just look into that also, and you can automate them. Those are the prompts which commonly we use. Clear? Okay, then yeah.